Imagine opening a magazine and seeing a picture so shocking that people start arguing everywhere at home, in cafes, and even in newspapers. Some people are angry, some are confused, and others are secretly curious. All this noise over one set of photos. Not a crime, not a scandal with police, just photos. This is exactly what happened when rare bikini photos of Greta Garbo came into public view. A woman known for mystery suddenly appeared in a way people were not ready to accept. Why did these photos upset so many adults? And why are people still talking about them years later? Stay with me, because the story behind these images is more surprising than the photos themselves. Greta Garbo was not just a movie star, she was a symbol. In her time, people saw her as serious, private, and distant. She did not talk much to the press, and she did not smile often in photos. That silence made her more powerful. Fans felt she was different from other stars. She looked strong, calm, and almost untouchable. Back then, movie stars were expected to follow strict rules. They had to dress in a certain way and behave properly in public. Studios controlled their image like a locked box. Greta Garbo fit that image perfectly, with long dresses, covered looks, and a face full of mystery. People believed this was the real her. Then something unexpected happened. Photos appeared showing Greta Garbo wearing a bikini, not in a movie and not on a stage, but simply outdoors, relaxed and living her life. For many adults, this felt wrong. They felt betrayed and asked how she could do this. Some newspapers called it shocking, while others said it was inappropriate. The real question is why a simple outfit caused such anger. At that time, society had very strong rules, especially for women. Women were judged harshly for how they dressed. A bikini was seen as too bold, even for grown adults. If a regular woman wore it, she was criticized, and if a famous woman wore it, the criticism became louder. Greta Garbo was not just any woman. She was placed on a high level by the public. People did not see her as human, but as an idea. When she broke that image, people felt uncomfortable. It was easier for them to blame her than to question their own thinking. Many adults said the photos were too much, but what does that really mean? The photos were not harmful and did not promote bad behavior. They simply showed a woman choosing comfort and freedom. The anger came from fear of change, and fear of losing control over how women should look and act. Some fans even said she ruined her reputation, while others claimed she was seeking attention. This is interesting because Greta Garbo was known for avoiding attention. She did not need publicity and did not chase fame. These photos were never meant to shock anyone. They were private moments that became public without her choice. This brings up another issue, which is privacy. Even famous people deserve private lives. Just because someone is well known does not mean every moment belongs to the public. When these photos spread, many people forgot that simple truth. Over time, opinions started to change. Younger people began asking different questions, such as why a bikini was a problem, why clothing should decide someone's value, and why adults were so angry over fabric. These questions forced people to rethink old rules. The photos became more than just images and turned into a sign of changing times. They showed how strict thinking can turn something normal into a big issue. Greta Garbo never defended herself publicly and stayed silent, as she often did. That silence spoke loudly and showed confidence. She did not feel the need to explain her choices and lived life on her own terms. Looking back now, many people feel the outrage was unfair. What once seemed shocking now looks normal, which proves how society changes. What is judged harshly in one era can be accepted in another. This story also teaches an important lesson for all ages, which is not to rush to judge and not to let old rules control how you see others. Clothing does not define character, and photos do not tell the full story. This story still matters because similar things continue to happen again and again. Public figures are still judged for their looks, and people still argue over what is acceptable. The names change, but the behavior stays the same. Greta Garbo's bikini photos remind us that freedom often scares people before it inspires them. And the outrage says more about society than about the person in the photo. What do you think? Were people right to be angry, or was it an overreaction? One thing is clear, a few photos were enough to expose deep fears and strict thinking. And if this story made you think in a new way, remember to like, share, and subscribe, because the next story might challenge your thoughts even more.